Time for the NDT Kids Connection. Family and child counselor and educational therapist LorrainePursell back once again, and today's topic is getting your kids to help around the house. Not an easy thing to do sometimes, Lorraine. What about your kids? Did you go through this yourself?
Oh, yes. In fact, everything I come up with is almost all from my own trial and error. Yes. And then coaching families for so long, yes.
I remember growing up that, as a kid, we were paid an allowance, but, there was always that arguing with mom and dad. Do I get my allowance? Well, you didn't do this or that. So is that necessarily the best approach?
Well, I think I think allowances are wonderful because it teaches kids to manage money. Just don't give it to your kid because they're beautiful and smart and sweet or whatever. You know, I mean, they need to do something for it because nobody's going to walk up to your kid when they're 20 and go, "You're so cute, here's a $20 bill."
So you got to make that connection, money versus chores.
Yes.
Doing something to earn it.
Yes, and in fact, I'm glad you brought up that word chores because that's the first tip I have today is to change the word chores to family contribution.
All right, so you're sitting around, you're talking with the kids around the dinner table. We need more family contributions, really? Okay.
Yeah, because it begins to establish the identity that in our family, this is just what we do. We all pitch in and we all help out. Who wants to do chores? I don't want to do chores. Nobody wants to do chores.
Chores has that negative connotation to it.
Yeah, it was just something like, ugh, I have to go do this now.
Okay.
So it's a family contribution. It's contributing to the flow of the family.
Now, how do you separate things that are just everybody's supposed to do because they are part of the family, than say something that's a little out of the ordinary, say raking the leaves or something like that? How do you do that?
Great question, because the next tip is to have a family meeting and actually sit down with your entire family and ask everybody's opinion. What do we need as a family to get this family to run smoothly and harmoniously? So we're not rushing out the door, so lunches are made. What are this? So everybody's ideas count. And you're this person that's writing down everything that your child says so they feel important and that their contribution is valid. And what that does, this is a secret trick, is it gives them buy-in.
Okay, they feel like they are part of the discussion.
They have thought of the family contribution. They have actually originated it. So it's like, okay. So once you get all of these down, the next thing is to first get volunteers, and then the ones that are left over, you actually assign them with developmentally appropriate tasks. Like you wouldn't have a 2-year-old take out the garbage.
That's the point.
But they could put the garbage in the garbage can at 2 years old. They could pick that up and they could put that away. So as early as you can start with people being responsible for their own things within the house, you're just saving yourself a world of hurt when they get older.
Okay, because I remember, again, flashing back here, it was dictated to me, you're in charge of the garbage, you're in charge of mowing the lawn, and blah, 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 blah. There wasn't really that input from us. We just kind of saluted and hopefully did it,
Yeah, and then it's good to rotate them. Because you get tired of taking out the garbage or that being your chore, but you really, your chore, I just used that word, it's so ingrained. But it's good to have people well-rounded in all of the activities that they can do. So they're skilled in a lot of different areas, and you get burned out on doing the same thing all the time.
All right, quickly, what if they just absolutely, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do this. What do you do?
Okay, this is lovely because the only leverage you have, this is one of my secret weapons as a parent, is your leverage. What is their near and dear list? What do they love more than life itself?
Their smartphone, their tablet.
You just confiscate that and anything else they love until they have done their homework, until they have done their contribution, until they have that. You can even go further to having a nice attitude.
All right. Hopefully they'll do their chores, and hopefully you won't have to yell at them. And speaking of that, you've got an ebook out that says how to stop yelling at your kids. Tell us about that.
Okay, so this is a 50-page free ebook that I wrote, pretty much sourcing from my own experience of yelling at my son and realizing that I needed help. So went to counseling. That's how I got my master's in counseling. So it's all about sourcing yourself as a mother, how to take care of yourself, fund yourself so you're not just stressed out and laying on the side of the road somewhere.
All right, stopyellingatyourkids.com. That's where you can find that. Thank you so much, Lorraine.
Thanks, Kevin.
We'll be right back.